And welcome out of here for the Gillette Game Plan live here at the Pizza Ranch as we are wrapping up the Campbell County football team for the football season, finishing it as state runner-ups this season. And back here with Coach Cole, the interim head coach, who kind of had to take the reins at the end of the year. I mean, what was that transition like for you?
Um, Definitely something I wasn't ready for. I planned on, coaching under Coach Garst for longer than what I did, and just it was very nerve wracking as well because obviously going into a semifinal game, and I didn't want to let people down. Didn't want to let our kids down. To be
Mm-hmm.
honest, I was more worried about the football players, our squad, than anything else. I mean, I can deal with outside pressure, but those kids, man, I was just worried about them. I wanted them to succeed, and I was worried about letting them down.
And that's kind of the hard part is like when you go in as an interim coach and you're like, man, I'm trying to come in here. I want to win these games for them, and but sometimes it makes it a little bit of a different dynamic.
Yeah, it does. Definitely was a different dynamic. Luckily, our coaching staff, we stepped up big time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like they gave me the title of the interim head coach, but it wasn't just me. I mean, it was everybody on that staff, and
Yeah.
they definitely made it easier, and not less stressful because there was
Mm-hmm.
still a lot of stress, but
Yeah.
that coaching staff that we have, man, it just made it so much easier in certain aspects.
The cool part about it, you guys were all named Coach of the Year. It was coaching staff
Yeah,
of Campbell County, and I thought that had a pretty cool ring to it.
yeah, it was cool. I mean, like I said, they just gave me the title
Mm-hmm.
as an interim head coach, but without those other coaches and coaches who've been in this game longer than I have, they rallied, and there was nobody was in charge. We all just, well, what about this? What about this? And we're just bouncing ideas off
Yeah.
each other. So, um, I thought it was a cool thing for our staff to get. I mean, what a great accomplishment that us as a staff, we were able to piece everything together and get to where we got. So.
And it's really cool because, especially when you have situations where one, you lose your head coach, and due to uncircumcised situations that kind of went down. I mean, trying to rally everyone back up. One, you have to go through Cheyenne East to get to the state championship game,
Yep.
and that was a game where all the energy and everything kind of gets shot down a little bit just because everything came out that day. Then you see them, go in, rally back from being down 19-9, coming all the way back, winning that game, and then having to face a good Sheridan team that has played good all season long. I mean, what do you just see from like the resilience of the team?
Um, the first thing, and I've said it all season since, or it might have been the Central game, man, just a gritty group of kids, and I will say that about this team. That's just what they are. They're just gritty.
Hmm.
But for them to be able to be honest, the news came out, and those kids, they just locked in because they knew they had a job to do. Still, they knew it didn't matter who was there, what coaches were coaching.
Right.
They had an objective, and their objective was get to state and win state. Unfortunately, we didn't win state, but we got there, and that's all on the kids, man. They locked in. They were ready to do it. They knew they had to get this done, and they had a job to do.
And that's always the cool part is when you have kids in there that actually are ready to be in there, wanting to fight for this, trying to get the job done. I mean, and you held a good Sheridan team to one score. I mean, it was the closest state championship game in like 5 years,
Yep.
5, 6, 7 years, somewhere around there. Uh, because everybody else is absolutely, gotten toasted, losing by 14, losing by 21. And I even said it on air. I think Campbell County and Sheridan was the best matchup we would have gotten for a state championship because I don't know if Cheyenne East would have gotten close to beating Sheridan again.
Yeah. I agree. I thought we gave them the best that we had, and fell a little short. And something that we had talked about all season was playing the logo and all this, and that's one thing our kids didn't do. They didn't go out there. They didn't back down from Sheridan.
Mm-mm.
They we we 100% were expecting to win that ball game, 100%, and our kids went in and they played like that. They didn't back down. They weren't scared. They were out there flying, hitting. It was just, even though it didn't fall in our favor, it was
Right.
fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, then we watched, Coulter Lang, who played absolutely phenomenal during the game, and then also during the East game, really coming back. But that final, it kind of was interesting because one, he gets injured right there at that third down spot. It kind of felt like maybe there should have been a late hit call or something to kind of give you guys in a first down situation. But I think what they were saying is that he didn't break anything, which that was good. Coulter didn't, but I think he was like, I think he cracked something, or what'd you kind of hear on that whole situation?
I know at first we thought it was his ankle again
Mm-hmm.
when we were out there talking to him. And then the first update was it was a broken ankle, no surgery needed. And then I think the second update was a broken fibula, if I'm correct. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But still, no surgery needed at all.
Yeah. There was no surgery needed. That was the nice part because you're still out 6 to 8 weeks though. But the nice part is that everything can heal kind of like
Yep.
on its own, and kind of get back out there ready to go in those kind of regards. But you saw Drew Watson come in for a play, and what what kind of was going through your mind on maybe it was Coach Holst or maybe it was you coming away with that final play call? Was it just, hey, we're just gonna try to see if we can get something up the middle? What was kind of that looking?
To be completely honest, I was still talking to Coulter on the sideline. I just put him down on the bench, and they got the play rolling pretty fast. So I happened to miss that play. My back was turned because I was sitting there living up Coulter and
Hmm.
talking to Drew. I talked to Drew a couple days later at school, and I was like, hey, like I'm just curious because I wasn't there. I wasn't there for it, but like, what was the call? And he told me what it was, and he was like, if they were in this defense, we were going to run this. I was like, okay. So like he broke it down to me, and like that was just good on
Yeah.
Sheridan. Their play call, like props to them for their play call on that fourth down. We had the right play dialed up. They had their right play dialed up, and they just executed very well on that last play.
Yeah, no, and it kind of, a lot of times people are like, man, what's going on? Why are they just going up the middle, in those cases? But, it is one of those things where one, if you're not there sitting there trying to figure out, okay, hey, what could we call in this case? Obviously, you're a defensive guy. You're not the
Yep.
offensive guru. So obviously you want to have a say because you're the interim head coach. But you also want to trust your offensive coordinators in those situations. You also want to trust your backup quarterback, which you're Watson,
Yeah.
which obviously, maybe this upcoming year he's gonna be the starter. Being the guy for that. So, what did you kind of see throughout the year? From him doing all the backup duties this year to really kind of moving on. He had one game where he was facing Laramie, and
Hmm?
was in a playoff game, crucial game that had to win to keep moving on. What do you kind of see from his progression this year?
I just know that the future for that kid is very bright, very very bright. And I can't sit here and say he's going to be the starter next year because
Hmm.
I'm a defensive guy, like you just said. But the kid has the talent to do it. That is for sure. Different play style than Coulter. Coulter he's a dual threat quarterback. You got to worry about his legs and
Hmm.
his arm. Where Drew is too, but you got to worry about Drew's arm more than his legs. But Drew can pull it down and take off with it if
Absolutely.
needed to. And I know that the Coach Teddy, the JV coach, he was very happy to have Drew as his quarterback at the JV. He says it's like
Hmm.
another coach out there on the field in the huddle,
Yeah.
and you can see it. I mean, that kid is very knowledgeable. He knows the offense. He knows what's going on. He knows the calls. He knows the checks. So, like I said, the future for that kid is very very bright.
No, and that's always good whenever you can have someone that kind of knows everything about what's going on, especially when you lose, your starting quarterback due to being a senior and kind of moving on from there. So it's going to be interesting on that. When we come back here with more of our Campbell wrap up show here on the Gillette Game Plan, we're going to go over some of these award recognitions that came out. A lot of players on Campbell County got some big recognitions, some on Thunder Basin too. So we're just going to kind of go down, break them out, so we will be right back here with more of the Gillette Game Plan live here at the Pizza Ranch.
Looking for your dream home or the perfect commercial space? Are you considering selling? At Signature Real Estate Group, we've got you covered. Visit us at 1211 South Douglas Highway, Suite 90 for personalized service and expert guidance. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, our experienced team is here to make your real estate journey smooth, successful, and guide you every step of the way. Call us today at 307-670-9222 and let us help you find the perfect place to call home. Signature Real Estate Group, faith, family, and real estate.
Strands Lawn Care is more than a lawn service. We're on a mission to empower lives and enhance landscapes. Our team is committed to craftsmanship, consistency, and care, bringing out the best in every property we serve. Every blade, every detail, every visit. We care deeply about getting it right. Check us out on our Facebook page, Strands Lawn Care, LLC, or call us at 307-682-LAWN. That's 307-682-5296. Strands Lawn Care, service with excellence. Strands Lawn Care is more than a lawn service. We're on a mission to empower lives and enhance landscapes. From weekly mowing to complete property care, our clients trust us because we treat every lawn like it's our own. Every blade, every detail, every visit. We care deeply about getting it right. Check us out on our Facebook page, Strands Lawn Care, LLC, or call us at 307-682-LAWN. That's 307-682-5296. Strands Lawn Care, service with excellence. Strands Lawn Care is more than a lawn service. We're on a mission to empower lives and enhance landscapes. We take pride in every project, big or small, because your outdoor space should be a source of joy and beauty. Every blade, every detail, every visit. We care deeply about getting it right. Check us out on our Facebook page, Strands Lawn Care, LLC, or call us at 307-682-LAWN. That's 307-682-5296. Strands Lawn Care, service with excellence.
Save locally at Trends Furniture.
They give a better deal on better quality. And sell at a better price. They give a better deal on better quality. So good, you gotta say them twice.
The Mattress Center at Trends Furniture is a place you can shop in peace. Our non-commissioned sales team is here to provide outstanding service to get you a better deal on a new mattress or adjustable base to help you feel rested and energized. Trends Furniture offers payment plans on major brands like Beauty Rest mattresses. To get the best prices and a great night's sleep tonight, visit locally owned Trends Furniture at 408 South Douglas Highway.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, pumpkin spice, football, and stylish sweaters from Soulmates. Whether you're cheering at the game, watching from the comfort of your couch, or just out enjoying the change of colors, make sure you're dressed for the season with the latest fall fashions from Soulmates. Find your perfect look with warm, cozy styles that are just right for every event. Visit them at 222 South Gillette Avenue, downtown Gillette. Soulmates, where fall fashion kicks off and keeps you a step ahead all season long.
Looking to control access to your property? Trust GateTech, your premier access control partner. With over 20 years of experience, GateTech offers custom-designed automated gates for sale or rent, backed by long-term service agreements. Whether it's industrial, commercial, or residential, we build systems that fit your needs and your budget. From simple remote entry to systems you can control from anywhere in the world, we've got you covered. Call 307-939-GATE or email gatetech@westernserviceswi.com.
Well, welcome back here with more of the Gillette Game Plan live here at the Pizza Ranch. Joining us, as always, here each and every Tuesday night. Well, actually, Tuesday nights are for football are being wrapped up now as we are finally done with football season in high school. College football is still going on. The NFL is still going on. My Dallas Cowboys got a huge win over the Eagles. I was pretty excited about that. So, who's your team?
The Rams.
The Rams. Okay. Hey, at least you guys got it done against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, we did. We're having a great season.
Yeah. I mean, Baker Mayfield going out. What were you doing? Just trying to injure him or something?
I mean, I would never wish that upon anybody.
No, absolutely
you know
not.
I mean? But, I mean, we'll take what we can get, though. We'll take what we can get.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of one of those situations where you don't want that to happen, but unfortunately, it's part of the game.
It is.
And injuries happen. It's just like you didn't want to see Coulter Lane get injured, and part of the game.
It's part of the game, unfortunately, yep.
So as I am sitting over here trying to pull up all my notes and stuff from this morning, all my sports report that I kind of had put out here, but let's go over some of these recognitions because this is pretty awesome. I mean, it was almost, it kind of felt like it was almost like a clean slate, half of it all
Yep.
the way through for Campbell County. But Trayton Sukett, he was Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
Dylan Walker got named Lineman of the Year, and then as by a unanimous pick, and then obviously you guys got Campbell County was coaching staff of the 4A East Side Coach of the Year, which again I think is pretty cool because I think you know in those senses that obviously if Garst was still there, still here, he probably would have gotten it, but
Yep.
I still love the fact because of what happened. You guys always like came up and worked for it, and even I think Garst listening, maybe he's watching right now or anything. I think he would 100% agree with it. I think he would have tried to do this type of award instead
Agreed.
of this on him because that's just type of the guy that he was for that. So that part's really cool. But Defensive Player of the Year, Trayton Sukett, he was everywhere on the football this year.
Yeah, Trayton Sukett. Funny thing about that is he was the first player I met when my family moved up here. Coach Garst was helping us move into our house, and he was like, "Hey, do you mind if I get a player over here real quick? I really want you to meet." And I was like, "Yeah, do it." And
Mhm.
it was Sukett, and he was met him right outside in the middle of the street in front of my house, and
Huh.
and I remember telling him like, "Hey, man, we're gonna have a great season this year." That's one of the first things I said to Sukett, and he's like, "All right, let's do it." And boy, do we have a great season this year.
Yeah, no, it was the hardest part, for the next head coach who comes in here is going to be trying to keep the momentum going
Mhm.
and heading back to another state championship because obviously Garst, when he got here, he inherited a one-win team, and
Yep.
now everything's kind of changed on there. But we also want to talk about Dylan Walker. I mean, we talked a little bit about him throughout this year, always being that guy that's really been very vocal on the defensive line, and for him to get lineman of the year, I think that's super impressive for him.
Yeah, talking about Dylan, he's one of the best high school offensive linemen I've ever seen. Like he did
Mhm.
good on D line, but I really noticed him on the offense line before he started playing D line on
True.
the defense.
Yes.
And man, one of the best high school offensive linemen I've seen. He knows everything. He knows, and I mean that in a good way.
Mhm.
Not one of those players like, oh, I already know that. No,
Yeah.
and in the most respectful way, I say that, and he's just good and a little undersized,
Yeah.
but man, he plays big. And then I know earlier on in the season, probably week 1 against Kelly Walsh, I wasn't planning on using him on defense. But then,
Yeah.
and no knock on like Lucas and Ryder and
Mhm.
those kids, but I mean, we just needed bigger bodies at certain points, and that's when Dylan started playing a little bit more defense for me. And early on in the season, I was very, very cautious of that because he's a starting offensive lineman, he's our
Mhm.
center, he's our dude. And later on in the season, Coach Garst told me, he's like, "No, it's time. We got to do what we got to do to win." And I said, "Okay," and that's when I started using like him and Cerna and Jack more on defensive line. But I mean, he could just get it done offensively and defensively. He was nails for us in our heavy package when I needed some more beef up front.
Mhm.
Very coachable, and he picked things up real quick on the way I wanted them to do things. And he was like, "Yeah, I got you, coach," and boom, just like that.
Yeah, no, it was quite impressive because I mean, even when I got to interview him a few different times, he was always like one of those humble guys, but he was also like he wanted to show different leadership as well
Mm.
throughout the year. So that was pretty awesome to see. But the last award was the 4A East Offensive Player of the Year. Now, this one I didn't know which way it was going to end up going, but Hadley Hudson of Thunder Basin actually ended up winning this. And I think it's well deserved. I mean, he almost passed for close to 2,000 yards, and he had a phenomenal year rushing wise too. And I felt like it was either between him, James Hahn, and Coulter Lang. I felt like that's kind of who it was kind of with. And I know people are like, well, you're just being biased because those are the two schools you broadcast for. And I'm like, no, because one, Breck Reed was out pretty much the whole season until he came back to the final moments. We saw Beck Hoswell. That would been, he was injured for a few games, and so he wasn't playing all season long. Like, these are the players that played all season long that had really big impacts, and I think Hadley Hudson absolutely fully blonde, deserved it.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, numbers don't lie. His stats were just outrageous.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he led the state of Wyoming in passing,
He did, yes.
and that alone's impressive.
He did what Mason Droop did.
See, I know very little about Mason Drew.
Mason Drew had like close to the 2,000 mark. I think he got over the 2,000, so I don't think he got. But he was the leading passer in
Yeah.
the state too, and so like that was kind of the thing. Like obviously not as many passing yards throughout the years,
Mhm.
but like through his 1 year, he was already like through his years that he was playing quarterback, he was able to get it done. And the crazy part still about this is, and I know you may not know much about Hadley, but he was a running back to start things off.
I learned that at the all conference meetings. Coach Pakula, he mentioned that. He's like, yeah, he came in as a freshman. He was a running back. And I would have never guessed that. Well,
Yeah.
that's a lie because the way that kid runs the ball, because he not only can he throw it, he's a dual threat
Mhm.
quarterback. And he's not the type of quarterback that's going to slide and get down. He'll run you over
Yes.
and keep going.
And that's like last year when it was my first year broadcasting him. That's kind of was like, oh, I expect Hadley Hudson to run a lot. I don't think he's going to throw the football much and all that. And then all of a sudden, here in the offseason this year, he decides, hey, we're going to pass the ball a lot more and hit his receivers with Grayson Peak, Garrett Brewer, and all of them. And he just kind of went off.
Yeah, he did. And he had some great weapons there, like you said, Brewer. I mean, and, oh, goodness, is it Peak?
Yeah, Grayson Peak.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
he had weapons.
Yeah, and
What-
Grayson Peak, I mean, he didn't come back in until like later in the season because he got injured.
Mhm.
They thought he wasn't going to get to come back at all because they thought it was like a full blown like broken foot.
Yep.
But luckily, it turned out to the way where he was able to come back at the end of the season.
Yep.
So that's just always kind of something. But what did you see? Obviously from Hadley Hudson as a defensive guy. What were some of the main things that you guys were having to do? When you guys had the Battle of Gillette, that you guys were trying to get ready for this, when you were watching film, what was like the main keys to like really kind of like knocking him down?
Since he's a senior and he's graduating, I guess I can tell you what our game plan that week was. Um, our game plan was to get him off his spot throwing the ball and to contain him in the run game. We wanted him throwing on the run. We felt like as a staff that he was less accurate when he was on the run throwing the ball. And that was our game plan against him. Get him off his spot, no timing throws, off his spot, on the run. And if we could just get him throwing on the I told the defense, if we can get him throwing on the run 75% of the time, we're going to win this ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, we did great with that. We got a couple sacks. We had a couple missed throws, so that our defensive game plan revolved around stopping him, to be completely to be completely honest.
No, and I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he proved it. He proved why that everyone had to stop him. I mean, he was throwing dots against Cheyenne East for a while, and then obviously, some injuries, things like that kind of happened. But as Pakula said, that was the best 4-16 we've ever seen. I honestly kind of fully agree with it. Or actually, I do fully agree with it because honestly, I don't think anybody, if anyone had to face him again, like, I really don't know if anyone actually. Cheyenne East had trouble with Thunder Basin, and if the Bolts didn't make a couple crucial mistakes, they would have won that game.
I mean, I can tell you right now, we did not want to see them again in the semis.
I didn't figure you guys wanted to.
No, as a staff, we were like, we want Cheyenne East to win. Because we knew what we were going to get with Thunder. Thunder, like you said, they were the best 4-17. They were big, they were fast, they were physical. They were a good football team.
They're a really good football
Really
team.
good football team. And, our game just came down to a last 2-minute field goal. Carson
Yeah.
Eyeshot hitting the game winner with 2 minutes left. That game could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, we did not want to see him again. We knew what we were going to get, what our hands were going to be full with them.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to come out of that game healthy going into state. So,
No, it was one of those things I was kind of thinking about, and I talked with Kula about it a little bit, was, seeing this team being with so many injuries with Thunder Basin, that was kind of the crucial part this season. They don't have those injuries. I honestly think it's Sheridan and Thunder Basin in the semifinals going at each other and fighting to see who's going to knock one each other off, because I think they would have been that 4 the 5 seed. They would have been up there.
Yep.
And because they had some chances, but obviously some injuries really kind of derailed their season. But Bakula, when I was talking with him and he decided he wanted to, obviously at the beginning of the year, he kind of figured out he was going to retire and all that type of stuff. But he knew this team was really good, and he knew that, there was a chance we could bring home a state championship. And And honestly, I was telling people are like, oh, we're gonna count Thunder Basin out all year. I was like,
Nope.
I was like, I would not do that because I saw the preparation in the offseason of what this team was doing, and so even with you guys, it was just like everyone was counting you guys out
Yep.
in that same regards. But kind of felt like you guys were able to just kind of move and disappear the noise, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about Thunder a little bit more, like you said, their record does not reflect how good of a football team they
Mm-mm.
were. They were good. And then talking about us a little bit, it's funny because that whole week of state, I didn't want to watch too much Sheridan film because I would have gotten in my head. So I went back and I watched from week 1 all the way up until the semifinals game, and just watching the progression of how our team changed on the offensive side and
Mm-hmm.
the defense. We just got better each week, and you could see it.
Yeah. How many hours of preparation did you do before that state championship?
I had some I had some
You had
hours
some hours?
I had some hours logged, and it was a little bit easier too, because my wife is gone right now, so she wasn't. I got my kids still, but my wife had to go back to California. She'll be there for a couple months, so um, af- so after the kids would go to bed, I had some late nights watching film. 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, watching some film, and so I had some hours logged.
Yeah, I bet you did, and I bet you had your hands full too.
Yep, I got my hands full. I got my 3 girls here right now by myself, until the wife comes back.
There's It's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is. I love them. Keep me on my toes. They keep me young.
Yeah, I bet. So, okay, let's kind of dive a little bit more into these conference awards. So, first team selection, Coulter Lang, James Hahn, running back spot. Obviously, he was a unanimous, definitely well deserved tight end. Jack Andella, he was a unanimous first team decision. Ethan Masteller, Dana Wasson, both earned first teams. Then we talked about Dylan Walker, Jackson Cerna, offensive lineman. Then you also have in the second team, you have Ryder Hess, Lucas Balfant.
No, they were
Or
first
excuse
team.
me, first team selections, my bad. And then Sukit Aishide made first team linebacker. Tate Reed, first team defensive back. And then the second team was Cass Olson, Tyler Rambo, Gunnar Streitz, and Cohen Metler. Now, the one thing I'm sitting here thinking, who was kicker of the year? It had to be Carson, right? I don't know. I don't know if I don't think they have that on there, but I think that's who it would have been.
That's who I would put my vote to, whether I was his coach or not. But my biggest argument was how many winning field goals that kid had for us in
Yeah.
clutch time, and so great kicker. That
Fantastic kicker.
kid has ice in his veins.
He honestly, I think he made his presence known there at the Wyoming game. Like why playing there in Laramie, being able to knock down those field goals and knock them out like super solid. Like
Yeah.
I think he might have twinkled some toes or something like that. And is that what you would say? Twinkled some toes? Maybe twinkle the eyes or
Yeah,
something?
something
I don't
like
know. I was thinking of a cool expression, then I'm sitting over here second guessing myself, and I'm like, my old man vibes doesn't feel the reps. I was trying to see if there was any special team awards, but I didn't see any. I'm going
Um,
back and looking, but
'Cause I know we put him up there for it. I know for a fact, and
offensive player. Well, that's
I fought my butt off for that one because that you just we had five comeback 5 wins from being down, and 3 of those were on a game-winning field goal from that
oh,
kid.
that's the all-state list. I was trying to go to the all-conference list. Let's see here. Bear
Yeah.
with us for a moment. Now all my stuff doesn't want to load up. It's fun. I thought he was, but from the the report I did this morning, obviously I didn't have that on there because I don't think he was. But I'm gonna check one more time because I mean he definitely should have gotten something because I know he got linebacker and all that, but he did so much in the special teams category, which that's the that's part of the reason of why you guys were honestly so good in those regards, in those situations.
Absolutely. I'm seeing if I can pull it up on my phone real quick.
We're gonna see who wins. I'm scrolling quickly. Really glad we're not on the radio for this one. Let's see here. Scrolling down.
Oh, there.
Linebackers.
Kicking specialist.
There it
first
is. Kicking
team.
specialist. There it is. Carson Eichscheid, first team.
Yeah.
I figured there was, but I was like trying to figure it out, but I was just kind of like scrolling down and all that. The All-State Awards are out too. They just were posted about a couple hours ago, and we talked about Beck Hoswell, and he got the Offensive Player of the Year award for which obviously, as we talked about, it's understandable because of how he played, all that type of stuff. He was Offensive Player of the Year in their division too. So I mean, hey, it just kind of works that way sometimes. But it's really cool because one, we do an all-conference award situation, and then we do the All-Stater awards because there are places that only do All-State, where there might do some that are district, but the district have like 4 teams in there, not all the different ones.
Yep.
So that part's pretty cool. But well, let's go ahead. Let's hit a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's kind of been going on, what the future kind of holds here for Campbell County football. And then I know you've got a team right now trying to face off for a state championship, so we'll dive into that when we come back. Again, live here at the Pizza Ranch. This is the Campbell County wrap-up show here at the Pizza Ranch with the Gillette Game Plan.
Looking for your dream home or the perfect commercial space? Are you considering selling? At Signature Real Estate Group, we've got you covered. Visit us at 1211 South Douglas Highway, Suite 90 for personalized service and expert guidance. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, our experienced team is here to make your real estate journey smooth, successful, and guide you every step of the way. Call us today at 307-670-9222 and let us help you find the perfect place to call home. Signature Real Estate Group, faith, family, and real estate.
Strands Lawn Care is more than a lawn service. We're on a mission to empower lives and enhance landscapes. Our team is committed to craftsmanship, consistency, and care, bringing out the best in every property we serve. Every blade, every detail, every visit. We care deeply about getting it right. Check us out on our Facebook page, Strands Lawn Care, LLC, or call us at 307-682-LAWN. That's 307-682-5296. Strands Lawn Care, service with excellence. Strands Lawn Care is more than a lawn service. We're on a mission to empower lives and enhance landscapes. From weekly mowing to complete property care, our clients trust us because we treat every lawn like it's our own. Every blade, every detail, every visit. We care deeply about getting it right. Check us out on our Facebook page, Strands Lawn Care, LLC, or call us at 307-682-LAWN. That's 307-682-5296. Strands Lawn Care, service with excellence. Strands Lawn Care is more than a lawn service. We're on a mission to empower lives and enhance landscapes. We take pride in every project, big or small, because your outdoor space should be a source of joy and beauty. Every blade, every detail, every visit. We care deeply about getting it right. Check us out on our Facebook page, Strands Lawn Care, LLC, or call us at 307-682-LAWN. That's 307-682-5296. Strands Lawn Care, service with excellence.
Save locally at Trends Furniture.
They give a better deal on better quality. And sell at a better price. They give a better deal on better quality. So good, you gotta say them twice.
The Mattress Center at Trends Furniture is a place you can shop in peace. Our non-commissioned sales team is here to provide outstanding service to get you a better deal on a new mattress or adjustable base to help you feel rested and energized. Trends Furniture offers payment plans on major brands like Beauty Rest mattresses. To get the best prices and a great night's sleep tonight, visit locally owned Trends Furniture at 408 South Douglas Highway.
Fall is here, and that means cooler weather, pumpkin spice, football, and stylish sweaters from Soulmates. Whether you're cheering at the game, watching from the comfort of your couch, or just out enjoying the change of colors, make sure you're dressed for the season with the latest fall fashions from Soulmates. Find your perfect look with warm, cozy styles that are just right for every event. Visit them at 222 South Gillette Avenue, downtown Gillette. Soulmates, where fall fashion kicks off and keeps you a step ahead all season long.
Looking to control access to your property? Trust GateTech, your premier access control partner. With over 20 years of experience, GateTech offers custom-designed automated gates for sale or rent, backed by long-term service agreements. Whether it's industrial, commercial, or residential, we build systems that fit your needs and your budget. From simple remote entry to systems you can control from anywhere in the world, we've got you covered. Call 307-939-GATE or email gatetech@westernserviceswi.com.
Are you nervous about visiting the dentist? At Bighorn Dental Clinic, we understand and we've got you covered with safe and effective IV sedation. Relax and let us take care of your smile while you stay calm and comfortable. Bighorn Dental Clinic, professional service, personalized care.
Looking for a way to straighten your smile without the hassle of traditional braces? At Bighorn Dental Clinic, we're proud to offer Invisalign, the clear, comfortable, and effective solution to straightening your teeth. bighorndental.com.
Score big this fall with BlackRock Advanced Medical Imaging. Our state-of-the-art X-ray and MRI scans deliver crystal clear results faster than a quarterback sneak. With timely scheduling, we'll get you in and out with ease. Trust our expert team to keep you in the game with precise, detailed images and compassionate care. Visit blackrockmri.com or call 682-8228 to schedule your appointment today. BlackRock Advanced Medical Imaging, your health, our precision.
Looking for exceptional dental care? Powder River Dental is here for you. We are a dedicated team that is committed to creating healthy, beautiful smiles. Whether it is a routine checkup, more involved dental treatments, Invisalign, or implants, our friendly professionals ensure you and your family leave with a smile. Visit us today and discover why Powder River Dental is a trusted choice in your community. Call us at 682-6655 or 682-6771 to schedule your appointment. Come visit the good guys and a gal where our patients are family.
And welcome back here with more of the Gillette Game Plan live here at the Pizza Ranch. And once again, joining us is Coach Cole White here of the interim coach for Campbell County, finishing out this year. And, you know, we've gone over all the awards. We've gone over all the accolades from this season. Before we kind of jump into kind of talking a little bit of some stuff that's going on in California, some like your old school that you used to coach at, but what would be like the final say that, you know, you really saw from this team this year? What was that final conversation like, you know, maybe at the end of the game, or maybe it was during jersey returns and all that?
You know, I told the kids multiple times throughout the state week, you know, that I appreciate them because from day one, my first practice, they welcomed me with open arms, you know, and just here's some random guy coming from California to coach football. You know, he looks like a surfer with long curly hair. And I kind of know what I told him I kind of know a little bit of football. I kind of know what I'm talking about. And, you know, they just took off with it, and they just accepted me day one, and you know, and just a lot of good kids. You know, they made the move from California out here to Wyoming so easy.
That's awesome.
So easy. So I thank them for that, and I thank them for, you know, the first season I had here, and it's a good one. It's gonna be hard to top this first season here.
Yeah, no, I mean, making it all the way to the state championship, your first season, and you know, just kind of finishing a little shy, but obviously Sheridan, as you can tell, good football team. Jeff Mowry does a good job. He was the head coach of the year for all of everything. But I mean, when you kind of really go back and you go back, you look at it, it's Wyoming now has the second longest win streak in the nation with Sheridan, because the other team went down. Can't remember what school it was, but they went down. So now Sheridan's number 2, and there's another game this weekend for the state championship, and there's a chance that the one team could go down, and then Wyoming sitting up there alone at the top with, you know, 55 games plus with Sheridan. So I guess national recognition.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's one thing that this group of kids can say is, like, we battled with that team twice in 1 year. Fell short in the state by 7, and then earlier in the season we fell short. I think it was like 21.
Yeah, it was 28-10.
28-10, yeah. So 18, but we battled with that team twice in the same season.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about your California squad because
Yeah.
it's a little different here. Obviously, you guys go through all the same playoffs, but then you guys change it up. Then you're like in sectionals, then you're in bowl games, and then you're in the state champion. Explain how all that is because I think that's just weird, but I think it makes it for more exciting football.
Yeah, it does. Obviously out there in California, you have a whole lot more high schools to play.
I mean, true. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a big state.
So yeah, and the sections are just huge. So yeah, my high school I was at the past 6 years, they're playing for a section championship this Friday, and I think I looked it up earlier, and there's hundreds of schools just in the one section, and so our playoffs, like I'm still there. The playoffs in California, you don't see the same teams you see during the regular season. So.
Okay.
And the rankings are different, so they just had they went on the road last week and had a huge upset against the number 3 seed at Hillmore, and they put a nice little whooping on them. I mean, end of the first quarter was 21, I think 21-0 at the first quarter. Yeah, they're rolling right now. They're peaking at the right time. So yeah, like I said, they're playing for a section championship, which you win section, you get a ring. It's a big deal. And then after the section game, you play in a bowl game against another school from a different section.
Oh.
And then if you win that game, now you play for state. Now you play for Sutter, it would be a Southern California team because Sutter's in Northern California.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, so they like our playoffs here. We only have 3 weeks. They have 5. They have five playoff games to make it all the way to state, with state being the 5th.
See, back home in Oklahoma, they have 4. Now it's 5, I think, because they just added. So if you were the 1 seed and you got all the way through to the state semifinals, you automatically had that bye week. So then now you had 3 games, or it was either 1 or 2 games. I think it was 3. So they played. They played 2. So this would have been the 3rd at the semifinals. But if you get in that playoff spot where you don't get a bye game because your seeds are low or something like that, so then you have to face to go to the or the semifinals. So you actually have an extra round now.
Yep.
So now it's 5. It used to just be 4 rounds for it, but yeah, back home I've been talking with my fellow broadcasters, and they're like, yeah, everything's changed up this year, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm trying to keep up with everything. So like the team that I covered for Tuttle, they're undefeated. They've beaten every team by like 40 plus. They have the best quarterback in the state right now. And I mean, they're just kind of rolling through teams. I mean, their last 2 playoff games, they won 56. They combined, I think it was for 100 and let's see here. I think that's 100. I think it was like 130 in 2 games.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That was
their 65
score.
points a game.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Wow. In 2 games, 65. They averaged 65 points in 2 games.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 No, it's literally insane. And I'm sitting over here. I'm like, what? That did not just happen. But yeah, no. And the other team that won state last year, which is trying to keep their stuff going on. It was the first time they were at state in Class 4A. They were in 5A, moved down to 4A. They won state last year. They played this team. They played Tuttle, and Tuttle lost it in a really close matchup. And then now it might happen the exact same way. They're both on the same side. Like, they're on both different brackets, and I could see that being the state championship again. And I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because both teams can score really well. But Tuttle's been averaging 50-plus points all year long.
It's
insane.
Yeah, that is crazy. 50 points a game in high school football.
I think it was like 56-7 and 56-0.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when people are like, "Oh man, Wyoming's good at football," I'm like, "Go to Oklahoma, go to Texas,
yeah,
then come talk to me," because it's like I've seen all of that too, and so trust me, moving down here, It was it was like an awakening or something. Like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. Not that football's not good here. It's just
It's different.
It's a lot different.
It's different.
It-
Absolutely.
and so, but it's a lot of fun. But obviously, we're kind of running a little bit out of time. But I kind of wanted to talk about that California stuff. Obviously, the playoffs through all the other states are still going on, and unfortunately, this is the truth about it. If you're still playing football right now, it means you're a big football state.
No,
That's just that's the truth about it.
yeah, it's just the way it is. Absolutely. I mean, and again, I mean, the way I see it is our playoff brackets here, we just not enough schools around.
No, and that's the hard part because you can't put a 4A and a 3A together, or the travel wise is so much different because you're driving. If you're going all the way to Laramie, then it's 4.5 hours. Or if you're driving bus, obviously it's 5 hours. And then going to Rock Springs, that's supposed to be 6. So then add 7, because it's an extra hour for a bus trip.
Yep.
And, it's just kind of one of the things. So it's hard to kind of do that. And I know they want to try to bring in some other teams, but I know they're not going to bring them in. They're going to drop a team and then bring the other team in.
Just
I think
replace them.
I think they should be able to bring a team in. I think 4A actually. If 4A we're going to say is the best conference or is supposed to be like the highest tier conference, I think that's where you need to start adding like 12, 13, 14 teams.
Yep.
Instead of just leaving it at 10.
Agreed.
Like that's kind of the thing. It's just like you should have a chance to where it's like instead of just 2 teams getting out, there should be 4 teams that may not make the playoffs.
Yep.
In those regards, like, Star Valley would be a great team to add to 4A. Cody would be a great team to add to 4A. Because those are all great 3A teams, and then there's some other good ones. But obviously, you can't move a 2A school up because that's not
Too
gonna.
big of a jump.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's too big of a jump. So you'd have to pull a 3A school. But again, there's not that many 3A schools in that regards too. So it just makes it hard. But I wish there was more than we could do. But unfortunately, I don't have $1 million+ to go build tons of other schools.
Right.
But if I had $1 million+, I'd be building a broadcast full-blown company thing. So that would be where I would go. But so obviously, final thoughts, basically final, of the season. We've kind of talked about how your thoughts were, how the team's been, throughout this year. What's kind of looking in the future here for this Campbell team? I know that a lot of changes are going to go down with. They're going to look for a new head coach, that type of stuff. Have you heard kind of anything on any of those regards?
No, but I will say the future is bright here at Campbell County with football. Absolutely. I mean, you look at the freshman squad and the numbers, just numbers alone from the freshman team, and there's some good talent that was on that freshman team. And the JV squad, we had some dudes playing varsity and JV who were younger. I mean, the talent pool in this younger group coming here through Campbell County is just it's going to be unreal, I think, in my opinion.
No, it's going to be pretty crazy. And before we get you out of here, who's your Super Bowl matchup for this year?
I'm going to just throw my Rams in there because they are hot right now. Matt Stafford looks like he's 10 years younger, slinging that ball around.
Yeah, no, he does.
We got rid of Cooper Kupp. I can't say we got rid of him. But
let him go.
Yeah, we let him go,
Yeah.
and then we picked up Adams, and it's like Stafford and Adams are best friends on the field, and they're just
And that works great for my fantasy football team.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams goes off, and I made the mistake of not playing Matthew Stafford in my league here in
how dare
here in
you.
Ohio. Oh, I played Brock
dare you.
Purdy because he went off for
Oh my-
he went off for 30 last week. So I decided to play Purdy because he's playing Carolina.
you done goofed.
Yeah, he had like 9 points. I did done goofed. I was so mad. I was like, I still would have lost because I didn't play Cam Little. I played Brandon Aubrey because Brandon Aubrey, he has been like the GOAT in kicking. Then Cam Little and decides he wants to go off for 13+ points yesterday or day before yesterday on whatever day it was. And I'm just sitting over here. I'm like, really? Like, and I was playing the number 1 team, so it's like I'm number 2, they're number 1. I beat them on at the very beginning of the season.
Okay.
And so it's like it was going back head to head. I was like, they're on a 10-game winning streak. I want to beat them. Now they're at 11 because obviously I lost. But
Yep.
I messaged him. I was like, GG's, and he's like, man, I'm so glad I got that win. I was like, at least I'm known to be a threat,
Right.
And that's kind of the nice part. My other league, our Horseman Broadcasting League, they laughed at my draft.
Oh.
Laughed at my draft. I'm number 2.
Oh.
I'm number 2
Yeah,
in the league.
rub it in their face a little bit.
No, it's like they laughed at my draft. They said, "Oh, you're not gonna make the playoffs. You're gonna finish dead last." I'm sitting in second. They were like, "Well, it's because our players got injured." I was like, "Draft the right people, then."
Blame the injury bug. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But how's your? Do you play fantasy?
I've never done fantasy.
You've
football.
never done fantasy?
To be honest, I would draft a team and then I wouldn't keep up with it. I don't have time to keep up with the fantasy team.
See, like, I do, but I don't. It's like I set my lineup maybe on like a Tuesday, and then I don't mess with it. I'll double check, make sure I put all the right guys in, make sure that there's no anyone that's out. But I don't do research. I'm like, oh, Troy Franklin, he's been doing good for Denver. He has some pretty good yards, and so I just go pick him up. And I mean, I just go pick up the guys, and I know have statistically done well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit on my lap and do fantasy football all day long.
Yeah, no, I
not my career path.
And I've been asked multiple times throughout the years of teaching and coaching, like, "Oh, get in our fantasy." I'm like, "I've never done it, and I never will."
Yeah,
I don't. I would draft, and I would do one lineup, and that'd be the whole lineup the whole season.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mess with it. I just don't have time.
No, and I understand that. Like, I do a college pick'em show every Tuesday or every Wednesday night on Horseman Broadcasting and Entertainment, and like we're trying to keep track of all those college games, and then I do an NFL pick'em with the radio station. I'm kicking everybody's butt though right now. I'm at like 135. I'm 135 and like 46.
Oh dang.
Yeah, like I am absolutely like kicking everybody's butt. It's fantastic. But I think the next person's at like 110, and like no one actually is losing. Like everyone has positive records. So that's always the good part. But anyways, we need to get you out of here so you can get taking care of those kiddos.
Yeah.
But Coach, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us and being here throughout the season. I know it wasn't how you probably intended your first season to end up going, jumping in one of the head coaching spots, but it kind of worked out for you.
Yeah, it did. And, not what I was expecting, not what I wanted either. But I appreciate that. They gave me the opportunity to do it, and so yeah,
Absolutely.
See what the future holds.
Absolutely. Well, for a final time, this is Coach Cole, and it has been a pleasure rocking and calling all Campbell County football games this season, but unfortunately, it has now come to a time where it is a close at the end of the season. We've got basketball season coming up, so don't go anywhere on your Tuesday and Monday nights. We're going to go 2 days a week. We're going to have women's basketball, or we're going to have Thunder one night and Campbell's one night. I'm still trying to figure out how to work that, but the shows are going to be on Monday and Tuesday, still on our YouTube and everywhere else. So that's kind of what's been going on. We're going to say goodbye for a final time tonight. I was going to do a sports show tonight. I'm not going to. I'm going home early. This is the first time I get to go home early in a hot minute.
Let's go.
We're going home early. Coach Cole, once again, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who tuned in here on to the Gillette Game Plan one more time and throughout this football season. This is Chase the Horseman Horsley signing off here for a final time. Thank you so much, and we will see you guys starting next week with basketball.